Distressing. Do you know what distress is?
It's Jerry Lewis like you've never seen him before. Serious in the film Max Rose. Incredibly, he's starring in his first film role in more than 20 years at age 90. But Jerry tells me this may be his last movie.
If you're real to yourself, you recognize there's not a lot of time left. I don't like that part. I don't like that part at all.
The legendary funny man says his greatest fear is leaving behind his wife, Sandy, and their 24-year-old daughter, Danielle.
I'm not going to hold them. I'm not going to love on them. And then I can't handle that.
This is how a generation remembers Lewis, wacky and over the top, like he was in such classic comedies as The Nutty Professor. If you ask him, he'll tell you comedy is in his blood.
When did you know that you could make people laugh?
I think it was in the maternity ward. When I came out of there and said, what the hell was that?
But he takes a dramatic turn in his new role when he plays an aging musician who can't face life without his wife, much like the real Jerry.
I think that's why this movie was so powerful, because you tapped into that.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
His wife steps in to give him a kiss. Then it's off to his Las Vegas premiere, where he needs help walking as he greets fans and friends, like Wayne Newton.
He's back doing what he loves most doing, and that's making motion pictures.
Thank you.
Lewis is slowing down, but assures us he's not retiring. He performs every month in front of an audience, which he says is his secret to staying young.
If they're happy, you're happy.
He wanted nothing to do with me.
When Jerry Lewis died earlier this year, it didn't take long for the news to break that all 5 of his surviving sons would be disinherited. They would not be left a penny of the estimated $50 million estate. Jerry's son Anthony spoke to our Victoria Racanio.
I knew I wasn't going to get anything, but the real sticking point, the dagger in my heart, is for the grandchildren.
Lewis's sons were from his marriage to his first wife, Patty Palmer.
It was not an Ozzie and Harriet life.
Anthony Lewis is son number 5, born in 1959. A 6th son died in 2009, reportedly from a drug overdose. Anthony says when he was growing up, you never knew which Jerry Lewis would come home at night.
When he'd show up and park right in front of the big front door, my mom would get on the intercom and would say, "Your father's home," and we scattered. We could never predict his behavior on a given day.
Anthony says he was hit with a belt on 2 occasions, but it's the emotional abuse, he says, that stayed with him.
Emotional abuse, it was every day.
The Lewis family lived like royalty in the Tony LA enclave of Bel Air.
In the highest echelon of Hollywood. I mean, the highest. My father was the top box office draw on planet Earth.
But over the decades, the family became estranged. Anthony even ended up filing a lawsuit against his father on behalf of his mother, who had been married to Jerry Lewis for 38 years.
Do I let my mother go on the street, or do I sue my father?
The result for Anthony? Disinheritance. And 3 of the 5 brothers were not invited to the funeral.
I was not, Gary was not, Ron was not. Scotty and Chris attended.
But even the brothers who got invited to the funeral were shut out of the will. Lewis left his entire estate to his second wife and their adopted daughter, Danielle. And even though Jerry Lewis didn't leave him a dime, Anthony still wishes he had one more chance to make it right.
I'm really sorry that I didn't have any one-on-one time with him to express that I love him.